right, bro. I'm gonna catch you though.
All right, bro.
All right. I gotta go to work and shit.
Work?
Yeah, what you mean? Why you laughing at,
You
bro?
still in the Matrix, buddy? You're stuck in that still?
Bro, what do you mean Matrix, bro? That's how I make a living for my family. What do you even do?
Bro, I work for a multi-million-dollar company, buddy, a marketing one called Amway.
What the fuck is that, bro? Isn't that a scam?
No, buddy, it's not. You gotta join me in this company, bro. We're gonna get money like now.
For real? Like, how much you making though?
Shit. I mean, I ain't made no money yet, but
what?
The thing is, like, my colleague, they show me, he making $500K a year, bro.
Okay, but you haven't made a penny yet, bro.
Cause I'm down here, I'm gonna get up there. I just need, you got any referrals I could get? Any family members?
No, bro. Like, how long have you been working though?
It's 10 years.
Bro, how does this shit even work again, bro?
Alright, bro, listen. There's a dude at the top, right? I don't know his name. I just know he's boss.
Okay.
Alright? He gets referrals, she gets referrals.
Wait,
I'm not here, I'm getting referrals.
Bro, this is a pyramid scheme. What are you talking about?
Bro, no, it's a business triangle.
No, you might need to find another job, bro. This shit is not working out for you. Like, get a 9 to 5 like me or something. What the fuck?
A 9 to 5?
Why are you laughing
You'll
at?
never catch me down bad again, bro.
Bro, what?
Listen, bro, I'm telling you, you can make 500 right now, bro. Just get your cousins in on this shit.
Okay.
And you can make 500 today.
Okay, so if I get my cousins, like, what do they gotta pay? It's free, right?
No, they are gonna pay about 5K.
Bro, what?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Nerd Chronicles with your host, the socially awkward nerd, Christian Paul speaking. And ladies and gentlemen, if I hadn't really discussed it, I may have actually discussed this topic some years ago in regards to this, but in lieu of recent events, in local news reportings, local convictions in regards to the topic, I want to thoroughly stress out the importance and dig into further details of pyramid schemes for those of you who are unaware or naive or forget to thoroughly understand how pyramid schemes work and why are they a very, very dangerous game to play with, literally financially as well as your future, definitely with your future livelihood, financially as well as your potential future freedom. Let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen.
A reality show couple from North Texas has been convicted in connection with a multi-million-dollar pyramid scheme. Marlon and LaShonda Moore are accused of defrauding more than 10,000 people during the pandemic to the tune of $25 million.
Yes, this is a story that our Meredith Yeomans first brought you back in 2021. Tonight, she has the update.
Marlon and LaShonda Moore appeared in a Collin County courtroom 4 years ago.
I think the truth will come to light.
To face civil charges filed by the Texas Attorney General's office.
No comment at this time.
The case ended with a $10 million judgment against them. Now the couple, accused of running a pyramid scheme out of their Prosper home, has been criminally convicted in federal court.
And we were just played. We were played with our feelings. We were promised the money. We didn't get it.
Rosetta Fleming says she and her husband invested more than $6,000 with the Moores, were guaranteed returns on their investment, and promised refunds if they weren't satisfied.
We didn't look at it as like it was a gamble. We look at it like it was something out there that could help us, pay the bills, feed our children.
Through the program called BENT, or Blessings in No Time, she says members were organized on playing boards and were told they'd be blessed or paid for recruiting new members at each level. But Fleming says she never received a dime or the refund they requested.
They were African Americans as well, and they were taking advantage of us.
In a federal indictment, the Department of Justice says the Moores targeted the African American community during the COVID-19 pandemic with false and misleading statements and promises regarding high returns to unlawfully enrich themselves, then tried to conceal their scheme.
Because they specifically stated no other race, no other group of people, no social media.
After a 4-day trial in Sherman, a federal jury found the Moores guilty Friday of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and money laundering. The couple, who once appeared on a reality show, Family or Fiancé, now faces decades in prison when they're sentenced later this year.
That it sent a message out to people that this is not tolerated.
Meredith Yeomans, NBC5.
The Moores are being held in a Fannin County jail. An attorney for Marlon Moore says he presented evidence that the couple tried to fix the program once it took on a life of its own. But a jury disagreed. An attorney for LaShonda Moore did not respond.
Okay, so, right, most people think this is a scam of one of three things. And no, actually, I'm going to say two things, right? If you call things a scam, you're either still confused about money or you're still chilling at mom's. One of the two things. Real quick, okay? So, listen up real quick. Let me get through this real quick. So, listen, Platinum 150, okay? So, when you get your first 3 people plugged into the system, and get them paid, right? You get your team to duplicate what you've already done, because most likely, people that, like, for example, that come into my business, I've already hit each train. So I know how to get people there, right? Because I know how to duplicate, okay? Because it doesn't matter what works for me. In ATMs, we have a system. And system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. So when you guys are coming into this, y'all are following a system. You don't have like, okay, where do I go? You have a direct path on how to get to success, right? If a 16-year-old can do it, this shit blows my mind on how easy it is. It's so easy, it's hard because it's so easy. Right? People don't want to do the easy thing. So look at this, Platinum 150. Everyone say more money. More money. You were getting paid $150 every single month, right? So think about this. When I first saw that, I'm like, that's not shit, right? But if I guarantee if I took $150 out of your bank account, all you guys would notice, right? Facts. Look at what you guys are doing right now. $37.50 a week residual.
Ladies and gentlemen, to reiterate what pyramid schemes are, and if we look into Wikipedia here, a pyramid scheme is mainly a flawed business model rather than actually having a sale of legitimate products to an end consumer, theoretically. Mainly earns money by literally trying to recruit new members by having the new members pay you, and you pay the member up in highs to you in the hopes that if you do more recruiting, you're going to get paid more and more, and the cycle is going to be endless upon endless upon endless. And the more the number of members increases, as the number of members continue to increase, pressure starts to surmount. Other people that actually initially pay for the gathering, they may not get the initial returns that they mainly get as they mainly want. Many of these new potential recruits, they get sold basically like a lot of flashy goods. Basically, they get the idea sold of future high-flying vacations, first-class flights. You know what I'm saying? Fancy cars, fancy homes up in the suburbs, right? Endless growth opportunity. Endless rich lifestyles you actually mainly have. So much so that you really out here really getting transformed up to a pimpin' pass.
This Bentley that I'm parking in the church is not just for me. It's for the church. It's for us.
Can we drive it?
No. God wouldn't want that in Jesus' name.
Amen, Pastor. Amen. Saul killed 1,000. David 2,000. Saul killed 1,000. David 10,000.
Now this is called the Drenchinator. I'm praying about whether to follow through on this illustration. And I hear the Lord say, yes!
That's the whole reason why Drewski ended up making a skit on pastors like these right here. He wasn't speaking about every single pastor. He was specifically targeting the pastors who followed through with behavior like this. And you guys are still trying to defend this ridiculous behavior from these pastors. If I'm gonna go to church strictly just to listen to the words of God, I'm not trying to have someone in my ear trying to remix a Kendrick Lamar song. And going to church is strictly a place to connect with God deeply through his words. And you got people out here just trying to entertain people and be clowns, which is exactly why one actual pastor said this: the church needs shepherds to feed the sheep, not clowns who entertain goats. Pastor was speaking straight facts, because you guys just saw it right here. All 3 of these pastors just look like complete clowns. So I don't understand where the hate for Drewski's skit is coming from. Probably because he was just exposing the truth about mega churches. I just have to make it clear that Drewski was not making fun of God whatsoever. If not, these pastors right here are mocking God more than Drewski.
In which he literally gets fleeced out after having his time received under a non-profit organization he have. They mainly utilize those times under these big-time churches and these big-time mega churches, and they fleece off of these worshipers actually coming by and mainly pimp themselves out and get themselves mainly luxury or rich, while the worshipers actually literally seeking help and guidance and hope. They're usually trying to actually just pay them, thinking that, God gonna literally magically try and wash their ills away, which realistically that's not always the case. You see all these big time worshipers, be like pimping pastors, getting their perms on, getting their sleek on, getting their side pieces on, getting themselves super clean, while the war searchers are literally being destitute. That's what it basically feels like. Realistically, when a new recruiter is actually trying to come into that type of scheme, okay, right? And they don't see some of the results that they mainly have while they're pouring more money down to all these other high recruits going through this endless cycle with no actual product to sell. Eventually, at least one of those recruits are going to feel scammed and going to feel duped, and that's when the whole model will entirely collapse. Now, once that model collapses, the people on the higher up, okay, will tend to panic. People actually literally start losing their minds. They start filing complaints down to the SEC and other federal agents. And now federal agents really start investigating that scheme that's been going on that has been built, okay, by the people that have originated it. Some of the people that actually have been investing in the scheme for years and are trying to actually cut their loss away or actually trying to recompense those former recruits or soon-to-be recruits that are leaving, so that they're actually trying to cut their losses, actually trying to dip out so that they don't become investigated and hopefully become criminally charged. But the damage, however, has been done, and the dark, unfortunately, will eventually go into light, and the people that actually run things up at the top of the scheme will eventually get hemmed down after years of flourishing, living the fast life for many years on, and the feds really hem them down, get them charged criminally. And not only that, they will have their money frozen through the banks based on the money that they have mainly made, and they actually get them found guilty. They could literally be serving at least decades in prison. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are literally starting out investing or actually just been basically a low-key investor, maybe beginner to intermediate, not thoroughly advanced when it comes to investments, when it comes to definitely when it comes to trading, right? For those of you that are not really that used into the investment and trading world, you need to thoroughly understand something. Investments always come with risks. And there's never any guarantee of a full return, okay? You can have an exponential return definitely years down the line, but unfortunately the return will not be instant. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're dealing with cryptocurrency trading or definitely with cryptocurrency stocks, because that market is extremely volatile and can fluctuate randomly at any given time of the week. It can have a high spurs and can literally go to a peak to a point where it can literally crash at any given moment at any given time. When it comes to these types of schemes that I've discussed, I do want to try and give you some quick pointers in regards with this. If you see anything that looks like a triangle on how a structure is modeled, it is a pyramid scheme. Anything that looks like a triangular base, you are dealing with a pyramid scheme. I don't care what they say on anything else. They say, oh, it's not no pyramid scheme. Won't give all that stuff. If you don't have anything that actually sells, it is a legitimate pyramid scheme. Now, even if there's something that's going to be sold, they will classify them as LMMs. But LMMs, multi-level marketing, is basically like a pyramid scheme with products actually being sold. They're not going to get hit like that. But most of the time, you're literally just bringing in more recruits actually trying to sell your stuff. And you basically selling these types of, same old BS products that you mainly use that don't even evolve. And you actually basically sell that type of stuff within each other. Even a few people actually try and make it down to the multi-level routes. And they are actually very, very successful of it. And they evade criminal charges due to the fact that they have something to actually sell. But it has the same exact model as a pyramid scheme would normally do, doing a lot of festering, a lot of frustration, a lot of suffering. The small difference is you actually do have products to sell in the LLM, which that is also extremely risky in my personal opinion. Pyramid schemes are never worth it. They could definitely ruin your life financially and definitely ruin your future in the long term should you join and continue to stay in it. I've nearly gotten close when I was very young, a couple of times actually. I've looked into the first knew about the pyramid scheme definitely shortly after college at the age of 22, soon to be 23 years old. And then I was further basically invited to like an event when, they saw a dude come by. I was up at one of my friend's parties at the time. They invited me to come up to a house in Brooklyn. They showed the exact same model of what they're doing. And I'm like, oh, this is a little bit deja vu. And I meet another dude that was working up at like a Mercedes-Benz dealership years ago. Okay. And he was literally promoting the same stuff. Hey, this is the best way to actually try and get yourself going. This is the best way to actually handle the stuff that's there. And I was literally listening. I've heard this stuff familiar before. But I knew the game from the time that I was there, like around 2013, 2014, watching that on a computer, okay, seeing what they're like. And actually, my mom actually gave me game on this. They are not worth it to mainly be around. They are not worth to be a part of. Your future will be drained in the long run. Yes, the fast money, if you continue to do it, it can be extremely gracious. It can be extremely thrilling. But the after effects 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, if you continue to partake, it will either lead you frustrated due to the fact that you're going to be scammed, or if you're making a lot of money doing that same method, you could literally be investigated by the FBI and potentially be charged federally. With these types of federal crimes involving money, they can literally hem you up. And I tell you, that conviction rate with the feds, mid-90s conviction rate at the very least. Okay? So if you get hemmed up based on that, you're going to be serving a lot of time up in federal prison. It is not worth it. For those of you that actually still in there, get out now. Register with the people that you actually did business with for the pyramid schemes. Give that money away. Get your stuff out your hairs and leave that stuff alone. Otherwise, it will catch up with you literally years from now. And I guarantee you that. No more talk from me, ladies and gentlemen. Christian Paul from Nerd Chronicles is signing out. Deuces.
All right, TikTok. So I just came back from a pyramid scheme interview. All right, so I applied to this place, right? I'm not going to say the name, but I applied to this place as I'm a marketing major. And I applied to this place because it was advertising marketing, and I did a bunch of research on them and they seemed legit. The job description was exactly what I wanted to do. I guess the first red flag was that it didn't state how much you're getting paid or what you're getting paid for, right? So I had my interview this morning. I just got back. So I come into the building and there is not a single name or logo or anything describing what this business is. The only thing I see is T-Mobile. And mind you, they work for T-Mobile. They have a contract with T-Mobile, whatever. So the girl interviewing me had to be like 22, 21 years old, if not younger. Definitely not my age, definitely not older than me, which is sketch already. Everyone else working there is like in their 20s, super young. The place doesn't even look like an actual office. There's like a ping pong table. There's trash everywhere. And then she proceeds to tell me that this is strictly commission based. There's not even a base pay. And I'm already thinking like, this is not what was advertised, first of all. And then what the position is isn't even marketing. It's sales, completely sales and commission based. And so afterwards, she's like, okay, we're going to take you to an event. And I'm like, what event? And she's like, I'm going to send you the location for it. And I told her where I live. And she's like, okay, I'll get you a location where I live. And it's basically you go and see how they set up at one of the stores. She sends me something completely out of the way. And what she texts me, she's like, hi, this is blah, blah, blah from blank marketing, which isn't even the marketing firm that I applied for. Completely different. So I'm like, wow, what the hell? So I look up the place she sends me. And guess what? Reddit, MLM, pyramid scheme, like beware of this place. And that's just my fucking luck. I'm like so over it. I'm done. Like, I'm thinking like, am I even gonna get a fucking job at this point with this bullshit going on? Like, of course this would happen to me. I'm embarrassed.